I'm a big, what I you said, baby, that's me. I will wake up and come on the jumpers in here. I'm
Well, and it's
horrible.
hard. It's one of those things. It's like you said. It's like, okay, if you're pregnant and you woke up and you threw up 3 times, and then you got to come to care net, you're like, I'm not happy right now. You know, like.
Usually when I dress up, I throw up and it ends up on my shirt. Something ends up on me splashy, so it's like, oh, I'm tired.
Like, you just need to plan it. Like, put your nice clothes in your car so you can throw up at home and then you can change on the way. You'll be fine. But it is. It's just kind of knowing those things. And like I said, it doesn't need to be like, you don't need to be dressed to the nines in here. But it's nice to come and know, okay, I'm put together so that if I do need something, or if they have something available, they'll think, oh, she's the one that's been trying hard. You know what I mean? Because that's possible, too. Like, we get stuff in here randomly that somebody will donate that we're like, who needs this, or what's going on with this? And it's much easier for us to say, hey, this is somebody who's been coming to class and working hard and doing all this stuff, when you look like I've been coming to class and I'm working hard and I'm really making that effort, you know. But my last point on clothing, we're kind of talking about this. Okay, so we've talked about, like I talked about, like the 4-finger rule and things like that, but modesty is really important. I mean, all things aside, it really is. If nothing else, just because of what it communicates about how you view yourself, you know. We were kind of talking about that of like, you know, some girls, they'll just wear almost nothing just because they think if I wear this, then a guy will like me, or I'll get a guy, and blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's that thing of like, if you're saying in your head, this is what I have to wear to get a guy, one, what kind of guy are you getting doing that? And then two, what's that saying about you, like how you view yourself, that this is all I'm worth, you know? I had somebody explain it to me one time as, if you're going to see something that's valuable, you have to pay for it, right? Like if you're going to go to a museum, or you're going to go to a movie, or whatever it is, it's like if it's something that people really want and it's desirable, or it's exciting, or whatever it is, you have to pay for that, right? You don't just like get to go in there for free. But the things that you get for free, those usually aren't the things that you're really that excited about looking, like whatever it might be. Driving down the side of the road, you can see all these buildings for free, but they're kind of ugly. So you kind of think about that way. Okay, if I'm showing you something for free, like I don't need any commitment from you for you to see this much of me, what's that saying about you? You know what I mean? And that helped me see that a lot, of just realizing like what I was communicating. It's the same thing, you know, it's like everything you wear, you're communicating something by what you're wearing. And so you just think, you know, if you put your clothes on that morning, it's like, what am I saying about myself today?
It's like
by
that
what I'm
old
wearing.
saying, kind of, why pay for the milk when you can get the cow free?
Exactly. You know, we got time for that. You know, and that's the thing. It's like you look at that and you're like, okay, like, I mean, I know y'all have that friend, y'all all seen that girl where it's sad. It is. Like, I always see that and I think it's sad. Like, I want to go up to that girl and be like, this is not what you need to do to get where you want to get. You know, or who you want to get. If you're really wanting a boyfriend, or you are really looking for a guy, you need to be particular about who you want, and you need to dress for that guy. Not the guy that's going to be like, oh, look, I can see her booty through those shorts. Perfect. You know, that's not the guy you want. You know, like, that's not what we're looking for here. So that was just for free. That's just okay. So we talked about clothes, how we do that. Now this, where are we here? Okay. Oh, we already talked about that. So the next part we're going to talk about is how we talk. So this is interesting to me. I was a linguistics major in college, so I learned all about like different languages and how we talk and different things like that. So this is like my favorite. But what could I have done better when I was sitting here and y'all were all coming in? What's a way I could have been better that would have made me a little more approachable?
Hello, y'all. How are you doing?
Talked at all. That would have been nice. Looked you in the eye, smiled, any of those things would have been great ideas, right? So you want to think about that. If you're going to a job interview, or you're going to court, or whatever you're doing, you need to be aware, especially if you so if you were coming to a job interview here, if you were trying to get a job at CareNet, and you're sitting out in that waiting room waiting, you don't know, it might have been the boss had to cover the front desk that day. You know what I mean? And so you just want to make sure that you're always thinking about, okay, how am I acting right now? Am I going to come in and sit in there, even if you're like, okay, maybe I'm really early, I'm going to have to wait 10 minutes, pulling out your phone may not be the best idea, because then she's going to walk in and come say, hey, you can come in for your interview, and you're on Facebook. You know? So you want to think about things like that, and just not be like, well, I'm bored, I'm going to pull out my phone, because that's what I always do, because then they might come get you and be like, oh, she's the girl slouching in the corner on her phone. You know? So you want to just kind of have that presence of, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waiting patiently, I'm not on my phone, you know, those kind of things. Another thing that sets a really good impression is timeliness. So if you're going to a job interview or you're going to court, sitting out there waiting for it before the time is better than them being like, oh, it's 10, they're supposed to be here, and you're walking in the door right then, or 5 minutes late, you know? You always want to make sure you do that. But, so we're talking about how you talk and things like that. Have y'all ever heard, okay, let's do this. How would y'all greet, if you were going to greet a friend, you saw somebody, you're walking down the street, you're coming to CareNet, how do you greet somebody? What do y'all say?
It's like I have a different way of speaking when I'm talking to third people, and then when I talk to friends. Like if I go somewhere and like I'm trying to get help, or if I'm going to an interview, I know how to talk the proper way. But when I'm just around talking, what's up? You know.
Friends, what's up, right?
Or they be like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
I don't want to say that.
That's how we really do
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up? You know, but, yeah.
Anybody else? How would y'all say, if you just saw a friend walking down the street, how do you say hi?
How do I say, girl? How you doing?
There you go. Okay, so that's friends. So we've got different, when you're talking, what they call them is registers, okay? So we've got different registers. I don't know why they call it that, that's what they call it though, okay? We've got different registers. So when you are with your friends, the hey B, or hey how you doing, what's up, that is going to be your casual register.
Or let it be a Mexican, they're gonna say way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know how that was.
No, it's true. No, my husband's Mexican. So you've got your casual register. How you answer the phone, how you're going to talk. When you look at your caller ID and you know it's your friend, that's different, right? That's how you're going to talk there. Then we've got our formal registry.
No one tells me when I answer the phone I sound proper, like I'm white girl. They be like, hello? That's all right person? I'm like, yeah.
Now you just said something I want to talk about. Like you just said. Is this a lot of times? What did you just say? That
A white person
Yeah.
sound like, and then I was like, how do I sound white, you know? And they're like, cause you sound all proper. I'm like, so that means I'm white cause I sound proper?
Yeah.
I'm like,
And you hear that a lot though, and this is, I didn't want to be the one to say that because it's awkward when a white person says you sound white, like, it just gets weird, so that's good. But, what happens a lot, and what I want to talk about and kind of encourage y'all with, is the problem is, and we talked about this a little bit, you know, you've got your different classes, okay? Middle class kind of rules the world because that's just the majority of people. It has nothing to do with anybody being better with anybody, it's just you go by what the majority is, right? So, definitely hear me on that. It is not a better, worse, anything like that. It's just, these are the people that make the decisions for most businesses, most places you go into. It's the middle class, and the majority of them are white. Just life. Not great, not bad, just is what it is. So, what the problem with this is that y'all hear that a lot, you know? If you're going to try to do better, if you're going to try to improve yourself, you're going to try to fit in to get a job, or to do whatever you need to do, or present yourself better at an agency, you're going to need to use the formal register, which is the, hi, how are you doing today? It's so nice to meet you. Like, I don't even talk like that. But, in those situations, that's how you need to talk, right?
you know, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but now that you're saying that, my last job was at Panera Bread, right? And the manager, he's pretty cool. He's GM. His name is Jimmy. Well, when we had a phone interview, we were on the phone. He actually, when I met him in person, he actually told me, he was like, I thought you were a white girl on the phone when I talked to you. I was like, what kind of white girl has a name like Shmika? And then he was like, now I see you're not white. You just, I was like, did he really just tell me that?
You're like, well, that was awkward. Okay. See, and that's something you should be aware of too. That's probably not like a great story to tell someone. That's just like a, alrighty then. You know?
But I was like, oh, okay, didn't he really just tell me that? The general manager?
Like, not the most professional moment I've had in my life. Okay, great, thank you. But the thing is you don't want anybody, like, y'all are going to hear this, and that's just, this is real life. I mean, I told you I really wanted to be real, but if y'all are trying to move towards, I want to get out of where I'm at, I want to get out of this hole, I want to get a good job, I want to be able to pay my bills, I want to be able to do all these things and really take care of my family and not have to rely on anybody else. If you want to be self-sufficient, people are going to make fun of you for this stuff, and that's just true, you know? People are going to look at you like, why are you dressing like that to go to CareNet? That's going to be said, you know, and you just have to be aware that you're going to have to make a choice at some point in this.
Or they think you're stuck up.
Yeah, it's like, or you're going to be the, oh, you're too good for us, now you're going to dress like that, you're going to talk like that, oh my God, you know, you're going to hear those things, And it comes down to, what do you want more? Is it a bigger desire for you to fit in with all these people who are in the same place you're at right now, and who are going to stay in that same place you're at right now? Or is it a bigger deal for you to be independent, be able to provide for your family, and move forward? And that's what it comes down to, and that's why we've been talking about this. It's like, I wouldn't be teaching this if this is stuff that I thought, okay, all these people already know this. You know, we're teaching this because I want y'all to be able to go into these places, and y'all are going to have a leg up on that girl who doesn't know that stuff. You're going to have a leg up on that girl who's coming to work wherever you're interviewing at, who came in her pajamas, who came in jeans, who came with her hair looking a mess. Or you're coming to WIC and you need something. You're going to get something another girl's not going to get, because you knew I should talk in formal register even if I sound white. I should wear the right clothes. I should brush my hair today if I'm going to go do that. And you're just aware of those things. And like I said, it's rules. You're following rules that other people don't know exist. And so you're going to have that leg up immediately. But I just want y'all to really think about that. When those moments happen, when somebody says, why are you talking white? Why are you being like that? That's what it comes down to. And that's what I want y'all to go back to, is I'm making a decision for me and my family. And this is what's best for me and my family. And I'm going to do that whether it's easy or not. Because it is hard. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, it'd be so easy. You could just be like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like, it's not easy. It is hard. But sometimes it's like, okay, it might be hard, but it's what you need to do, you know? It's another soapbox. Sorry about that. That has nothing to do with much of this, but just got that one for free. Okay, so we've got, so this is like friends, right? So you're talking to friends. This is if you're going to a job. What about if you came to CareNet and you needed something from Jamie? How do you ask that? How do you ask for Jamie? How would you do it normally? What would you say? If you needed diapers from Jamie.
I would kind of combine the casual and formal together.
You're polite, but you know Jamie, right?
Yeah.
So you're like somewhere in between that like awkward like, I do need diapers, so I'm going to say please, and I'm probably not going to call you a B in this conversation. However, but you're not totally informal, and that's okay. But you also just want to be aware always, like I said, of how you're presenting yourself, especially if it's a place where you're needing a job, you're needing diapers, you're needing stuff, is how are you doing that, okay? So ooh, this is what we're going to do now. Guys, I'm going so fast. We got so much time left on this. I'm like, wow, I've sped through most of these notes. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise here, okay? We're going to practice handshaking. You ready? Hi, Shanika, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you today?
Oh, look at her. She does sound hot. Stephanie, how are you today? Ooh, good handshake. Very nice. Hi, Marisol. Hi, good job. What's your name? Laura. Hi, Laura. Oh, and it's precious. Oh, my goodness. What's your name? Jewel. Jewel. Nice to meet you, Jewel. You're not Sophia. She's Sophia. You're Sheila. I know that. Okay, so we've all had a handshake now. Now I want y'all to get with people at your table, and you're going to practice with each other and tell each other what you did wrong. So if your friend shakes your hand and you're like, that feels like a dead fish, you should be like, your hand feels like a dead fish. Because we all want everybody to do well. We're all going to go to jobs, we're going to meet people, and you want to make sure you have a good handshake. That's very important. It makes a really good first impression. So with somebody at your table, y'all just practice. Say hi, smile, look each other in the eyeballs.
Hello, how are you today?
Oh, I know, right? She's like ready to go. She's like, oh, get me a job today. I don't think I got to this.
Well, I mean, 'cause, you know, when we did communications class in college, and they teach you all that stuff in the communications class.
It's very helpful.
Firm handshake, eye contact.
No dead fish. I know we got to do that. Everybody practice? Y'all aren't practicing back there. You're looking at me like you're awkward. Yes, you were, but that's okay. We already did that. We're past it. I won't remember your names, but don't worry about it. It's fine. But yeah, if y'all just shake each other's hands and y'all practice that.